Our first caller of the night is Arturo Sanchez, NYC Furby. The man was calling to chat post beta. But yeah, I'm still here and I was wrapping up with them, but then they were like, "Oh, gootecks was cool. It was cool when you used to do like interviews with players and stuff."
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember those. Like whenever I want a good old, whenever I want some fun memories, I go watch some cross counter videos back in the day. You in the studio,
Oh
you're interviewing
God.
all sorts of luminaries. Hey man, it was a good
It
time.
was. It was.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was it was a great time. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was a great time. But now it's it's a different time and
Yeah,
we don't
definitely
need we don't
different.
need no big fancy studio. This is the fancy studio.
We don't. Yeah, we don't. We really don't. What a different, what a different time. Like 13 was, it was like 13 years since you started doing that.
Well,
Really not that long.
I think me and Mike were doing the show at the studio in like 2010, 2011-ish.
Yo, I was just watching like I was like I tweeted about like a video from me at Chinatown Fair in early '98, and somebody linked the bus video where you guys were all going to the GameStop Nationals.
Oh man, that was a good one. Like we were we were traveling.
Pioneers, pioneers, Ryan.
Yeah, bro. Just
Mhm.
pioneers and missionaries, just go around and spread that seed, that Street
Yeah, I
Fighter
know.
seed.
Yeah, I know. But now these days, everybody's like, "Oh man, like there's no more offline tournaments. What am I gonna do?"
Really? Is that the sentiment? I mean, you got your
Not
ear to the
me, not me.
streets.
Yeah, like the sentiment, like now that I mean, we don't know the obvious trends is shifting towards online, and like seeing like I'm seeing some people say I'm seeing some of the top players on Twitter saying like, "Oh man, like what happened to the offline events? It's the most optimal way to play. This, that, the third." It's just it's funny. It's like the FTC cries for rollback, and then when the online's too good, they're like, "Bring the offline back," and vice versa.
Damn. Never happy. I mean, I I think that part of obviously Street Fighter 6 has been in development for a long time, and I
It really
think
has.
one of the adjustments that I mean I don't know, but it might have been kind of through the pandemic that they kind of shifted focus a little bit, because maybe before that happened, they didn't, maybe it wasn't going to be such a big component of it.
Considering-
But
Yeah, we're
now,
considering. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy time.
I mean, it's pretty ironic for people to wish that there were more on offline tournaments because, you know, they they should have been fighting for those offline tournaments when nobody wanted to have them because everybody was too scared.
Yeah, everybody's too scared. It's weird now. And like now like I'm at a point in my life where I'm pretty much ready and I'm totally embracing the offline era. This isn't to say that offline is dead by any means. Like I think locals still hold a place, but in terms of like majors and major tournaments, like I'm kind of welcoming this. I'm kind of welcoming this online era environment. We do lose some things though, but I think the trade offs are pretty good as well.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, and I do think that it's overall a net positive. And I think the where it's going to get really interesting is when we start to have hybrid tournaments that are like part
Yeah, yeah,
online and part offline, where you could enter, yeah, like you can enter online, but if you wanted to come through in person, you could do that too. Because when the second beta rolled around, um, I was
that would.
I was in NorCal with the
Yeah,
homies, and dude, like it felt like a major without all the
yeah.
bullshit. because
Exactly. You just brought a great idea in my head, dude. Like, what if somebody had like an offline tournament, like at an offline venue, right? Like, so my local venue is Arcade Brooklyn. So, for example, what if you had like an offline tournament, but you allowed people to enter from online as well,
yeah,
as if they were there?
that's
How
exactly
sick would that be? How sick would that be?
that's exactly what I'm saying. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, because we a bunch of us had traveled up there, and we were like we were staying in a condo, and it was cool. It felt like it definitely felt it was like old school vibes because it was like, oh man, like everybody's just cracking out, and we had a bunch of setups.
Yeah,
But
you guys are all playing over land, right? You
yes,
guys are all playing with
yes,
your own
and
stuff
that
over land.
that was when it hit me because we um I was looking at the ping, and I saw because we weren't sure at the beginning if it was going to be if there was going to be lag or anything, but there's no lag, so the
Yeah,
game
of course.
is able to connect with other peers on the local network, so it doesn't need to send the packets out to the internet.
Yeah,
And
no,
this method, I think, might be superior because then it opens up
dude,
this whole new type of experience that we didn't have
it does.
before, which is like
It does.
kind of like a destination tournament, kind
Can we
of.
bring back lands? It's like lands in the FGC really could happen. Like, not only
Yeah,
that, like imagine
dude,
like
we felt
imagine
like we were having a LAN party, bro. Like I
yeah,
never did that. Like when
yeah,
back in the
bring your own
day.
setup. Yeah, bring your own setup. Like let's say
Yeah.
somebody's playing PC and like they want to play like on their setup. That's fine. Bring your
Yes.
own setup. Bring your own monitor.
Yeah,
Plug it in.
exactly. It is actually it's way better for everybody if everybody brings their own shit. This is why LAN parties are a thing. Nobody has to complain about monitors and setups and anything. Just bring your own shit and then we're going to play. And then it's going to be way more fun, but then everybody's still connected to a larger event, so you can travel with the homies to like a destination, and let's say you rent the Airbnb, right? Like let's say you got like 5 or 6 people. You're like, all right, guys, the tournament. Let's say the tournament is in, you know, uh, like the tournament is in Oklahoma, but we're going to go to Texas because we got friends in Texas. And then other people's crews are going to go down to Florida, and everybody's going to, rent an Airbnb at that area with their homies, just the homies. And
Yeah,
then,
regional battles.
yeah, that is the future. That is the hybrid regional model. I think that would be
Yeah,
super
yeah.
sick.
I think so, like that's where locals come into play because it's like we're starting to see like regional tournaments take a hit. Like if you do like local crew battles and like you can scale it up to the major level
Yep.
for like a fraction of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
And like see that's why I call Goot every time I call Gootecks we start talking and like the wheels just start turning in my head.
That's what we do, bro.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what
Like it's there's always going to be obviously the offline experience for
yeah, you get
some
it.
events is
Of
always going to be
course.
better, but
Yeah.
there's only 52. What do you do the other 51 weeks of the year, right? Like if
Yeah.
you got Evo and CEO and Combo Breaker, right? But what about all the other weekends, right? It's like, dude, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna we most of us are not in a position where we're just gonna be like traveling.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
like
time.
you're gonna
And
travel like a couple
I know.
times a month. You're gonna spend like
uh,
$1,000, 1,500
You know,
bucks. Like,
we were the people. We were the people that would travel everywhere. We're saying this. It's not like we're just like ninjas at home.
oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
exactly. Like I've this is my first time being an online warrior, but like it's um it's probably there's probably a lot more fun
Dude,
in traveling to a destination spot, rent an Airbnb with the homies, and then
Yeah.
you guys play, you bring the setups, everybody plays. It's just you and the homies. You don't got to deal with all the nonsense, and
Yeah, you do.
it was like
It's
a
still
really
good.
cool experience, and
It's a lot cheaper.
it's so much cheaper because
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you could just go to wherever's close, and it
yeah,
still
I know.
feels like you're traveling because you are,
Yeah,
but you're deciding, you and the homies are deciding, hey, we're gonna go to this spot, and we're just gonna hang out with just us,
yeah.
and then you're not subjected to wherever the tournament
Is
happens to be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I mean, like I feel like I've been preparing for this like throughout all of COVID. Like
Oh
like
yeah, well you have.
I've just slowly been making the transition to online war, and like if anything, I will be the one that'll be resistant to it the most. But now, like I think in a place where like I think I'm ready. I think I'm slowly ready to not 100% go offline. Like offline is still gonna have a place. Like like I said, like for example, I'm really tearing it up at Arcade Brooklyn. That's my base of operations, but I'm also getting ready for that online future. Just for like the total cost reduction, the number of matches I can play online, the amount of the amount of sets I can play with people all over the world. It's just too unparalleled. Like, and now like with Capcom Pro Tour, putting 3/4 of the qualifiers online, like PC
Yeah.
making like a big shift. Like I feel like it's time. Time.
That was a pretty big surprise. Because did they announce CEO? Is that happening? I don't know, but it's getting kind of
Oh, So,
close.
so, so I don't know. Like I know like CEO's having SF6, but like I said, I haven't seen. I mean, well, Combo Breaker is going to come out a week before 6, then I don't have to worry about it. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see like what the super majors like CEO do. Like obviously they're gonna have PS5s, right? But like, what's the monitor situation going to be like for those PS5s? Like
Ooh.
yeah, like there's so many questions, and I feel like it's time because it's like like if you go PS5, it's like you're spending like if you're spending like close to like $1,000 a setup. If you count the monitor, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you were gonna if you even had $1,000 to spend on your gaming hobby or whatever, it makes no sense. It makes more sense to just spend it on PC and
Yeah,
either get more for less or get more for the same price because
yeah, it's crazy. Like I wonder, I wonder if Sony's gonna bend the knee a little bit. And when I'm not just talking like about on price, like I'm just talking about just opening up the compatibility because like now like it's a serious price issue. Like with like PS5s, like the limitations on the number of monitors, limitation on the number of peripherals. It's like yeah,
oh
like unless you're a big event like CEO, it's like it's gonna be tough. It's really gonna be tough unless you go Xbox One S. That is.
oh you're saying because the PS5 only has
A limited
H
amount of controller support and a limited amount of monitor support.
oh right, because and you need a splitter, right? But you need a splitter
Yeah,
that supports
yeah, you have to pass it through.
120.
But if you don't have an HDMI 2.1 capture card, you have to like you have to use a splitter, and then you have to use a conversion device. It's a pain. It's actually a pain.
Right. And then there's and that's the like the tech that's like on the TO side, and then you have the pain of the players, right? Because I don't have I actually I was meaning to ask you. It's like I the option is the best option is the Brook adapter, right? But that
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
that thing
yeah.
out already?
Oh yeah. So I actually did have a conversation with Brooke the other day. Their number one selling item at the moment is the Wingman FGC. So it's compatible with PS5 and PC.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So,
that's
so like
good. I'm glad
yeah,
that that
it's like
option even exists.
$70 to $80 though, which is totally understandable. Given the fact that PS5 compatibility is damn expensive and it also supports PC. But
Dude,
yeah, like that just shows you like the sign of the times. Like if that's the number one selling device right now from Brook, and that is $80. Like, dude, that means controller compatibility is a serious thing.
Yeah, it is a serious thing. I
Mhm.
looked at it earlier, and the page that I was looking at said, like pre-order the second batch or something like that. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
man.
they're selling out. They're selling out like hotcakes. Even like with 2-player support, like it's annoying. It's like like you don't have 2 USB ports on the front of the PS5.
Oh really? I don't have a
Yeah.
PS5, so I don't even,
Well,
dude. I don't
yeah,
even know what it looks
has
like.
so it has it has one USB port on the front, one regular like USB A port, then it has a USB C port, and all the rest of the ports are in the back. And it's big and bulky. Yeah, yeah, it's a blow up. It's a blow up.
Oh, well, it's big console. I mean,
Big
if you
console.
guys want to continue to live under the thumb of big console, then this is how it's gonna be.
Well, like not if you're only playing SF6. Like if you're trying to only play SF6, big console, Xbox Series S might be the move.
Yeah, but I'm not only trying to play SF6. I'm also trying to play it at where I want to play it. Right, like, um,
Yeah, I want to play on my laptop. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, like,
Totally
well,
get it.
not just that, but it's just so it's so silly because it's just that way to it's it's just that way so that Sony can keep more people locked in and extract more money from them. And
Yeah,
I
Even Sony is going to PC though. Like a lot of Sony exclusives are being released on PC now.
right, but the whole controller compatibility thing is
That's such
not.
a problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's such a
that's not a hardware thing.
no.
That's just a Sony being greedy thing.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And I get it. Hey, I obviously,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
look,
gotta
I'm
make.
an
Yeah,
entrepreneur myself. I get it, but still,
yeah.
I there
You gotta get those margins.
but it's like, oh, well, why don't you just, I don't know, not do it that way, and then you don't have situations where you got a growing number of people that have had it with their shit,
I
and are
know.
doing something
No.
about it,
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're definitely doing something about it. Myself and
Yeah.
Ryan have been grinding the axe, late at night, talking about what the move is,
Yeah,
things
and
like this.
there was a time, it is true, there was a time where PC gaming was, very expensive and not for everybody and whatnot, and I totally get that. But in the same way that fighting games were popular at the beginning because anybody could play them at the arcade, we're kind of like going back into that cycle again where this is where the people respond to what's most economical. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's still not going to be as economical as a free to play game, but that's neither here nor there. Um,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
there's
but
nothing that I don't know, nothing that we can do
but
about
yeah,
that, but it is it is not it's not true anymore that PC gaming has to be really expensive because,
no, it's not
I mean,
so
I put
freaking cheap.
together a $200 PC in December that played games and plays fighting games and can stream or record, not both.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely been. Yeah, oh yeah, chat. I definitely been egging on gootecks to do a PCFGC show. I still want
Oh
to do
yeah. Well, welcome everybody to episode number 1 of the PCFGC show. My name is gootecks, and with me on the line is Arturo Sanchez.
that. Nah, that you got me on. I definitely do want to do it at some point. Like, fortunately, my delivery is here in 5 minutes, but
Oh, okay.
It is definitely something that I want to do with you in the future. It's like there's just
Oh yeah, we'll do
like
it. Don't worry.
yeah, like
Don't worry.
yeah. Chat. You can hear just how we're talking. There's so many good ideas now. Now that like like the way the ecosystem is going for FGC. There's so many good ideas that have been unexplored and underexplored, I should say. Underexplored
Super
and
underexplored.
yeah, and haven't been really thought about because it wasn't considered to be a viable option until now. Like
Exactly. It
yeah,
None of this stuff I wasn't, I don't know, I've never really been consistent with streaming because I don't know, I just was always busy doing other stuff and I didn't really care. But now I ain't got nowhere to go. I
Yeah, exactly.
I can just
Yeah.
be here doing what I was gonna do anyways,
Anyway,
and the
yeah.
people are here, and it's easy to, whatever, do calls and videos and whatnot. It's just a
Whatever.
different world
Yeah,
now.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, yeah, ever since I made that tweet talking about FGCOS installs, like all day today, I didn't even get a chance to play SF6 that much. I was just doing
Shut
installs
up. Well,
all day,
I
nonstop.
mean, honestly, if you've gone this far without really playing it, it's not really gonna make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Well, I'm just waiting for my yoga man to get in. But until he's there, I'll be
Ah,
getting people ready for the future each and every day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I'll tell you, bro. I may have played enough for the both of us.
Yeah, and I saw are
It
you still
was
going to see?
I'm not going to CEO unless they announce that it's part of the CPT.
Oh yeah. Oh, they didn't do that yet. Wow.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I've just dude, I don't pay attention to none of that. I rely on you guys to keep me
Oh yeah.
informed with the outside
Oh
world.
yeah. My
Um
ears, my ears are on the FGC like streets these days. Like
yeah.
incredibly so.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, it seems like going to Dreamhack would be the move.
Oh yeah, Dreamhack Dallas, but aren't they doing it on PS? They doing it on PS5, right?
They
At
are.
Dreamhack.
They are. That's why that's why I was
That's so
asking about
weird.
the Brook. Is
That's
it
so
is it
weird
weird?
that
Is it
that they would
weird?
do that. I mean, Dreamhack is the largest land center in the world,
Yeah.
basically.
Kind of
I still don't get
weird,
it.
right?
Yeah, I still don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I It's hard to say if that's one of those things where big console is just, pulling the strings behind the scenes, or if it's one of those things where there was like a legitimate need or opportunity, or in a parallel universe, it could have gone, a different way
Yeah.
where, if somebody had like a viable economical solution, maybe that's something that could have been acted upon.
I
But
think maybe these things were decided like 6 months to a year in advance before the
yeah,
current climate got so cheap.
that could definitely be the case.
Hmm.
And also it's like, Jabali's running it, and it's like he's already got the relationships with Sony,
Yeah, he
so
does. He does.
maybe
So why not?
I have a feeling they probably just do it that way. And it seems to me Sony's
Yeah,
just going to have to be supplying
yeah.
PS5s
They're
to
gonna have to be super
everybody.
aggressive. I think they're gonna have to be super aggressive this year. But competition does breed
It
excellence. So
does.
yeah, no matter what happens, I am even though like the climate has shifted, I am really excited for the current FGC ecosystem or to see what comes of it because when big console competes with all these other multinationals in the PC space, great things can happen.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
I
yeah,
hope.
they should have to,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, they should have to compete. No, like shouldn't be a monopoly. But my food is here, Ryan. So
Oh,
I
okay.
do have to go.
All right,
But
bro.
yo, like we're definitely yeah, like we're definitely gonna do it, guys. Like hopefully look forward to PC FGC podcast
Yep.
featuring me and Ryan sometime soon because there's just so much news to talk about in space.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about and people need to know.
Yep.
But yeah, man, enjoy your food. I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, catch you later. No, thanks for having me. Later chat.
All right,
Good chat.
bro.
Peace.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, that worked out. Who was it asking? Somebody was asking. Somebody was saying that they liked the interviews and stuff. And then boom, the phone started ringing. It was meant to be, guys. You see? Yeah, that was pretty good. all part of the plan. One little baby step at a time. It's funny how that works, right? It's like we were just talking about it, and then I get a phone call. So, yeah, sweet. That was fun. Well, it's not getting any better than that, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed your time here, and I had a blast. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me all weekend and enjoying the Street Fighter 6 beta. It was a blast. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys did too. And if you guys are looking to get the edge, get the jump on your Street Fighter 6 competition, then check out my book, Street Fighter 6 Crash Course. The link is in the description. It's only 99 whole cents on Amazon for now. But yeah, it comes out June 2nd. And then it's going to be like $10. So I don't know. Get it now or don't. Or continue to suck forever. That's fine too. You can just sit on the sidelines, and the rest of us will just get good for you. All right, guys. We'll talk again soon. I'm probably going to get yeah, okay. If I beat your ass, you should buy my book, okay? If you destroyed me, I definitely I would definitely like to subscribe to your mailing list. All right. So, I don't know. I'll be back sometime this week or whatever. I don't know. There's plenty of replays to go through. Obviously, I want to go through that at some point, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the bell icon to get notifications. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Have a good one.